So hello and welcome. It's another DJI Neo video. Today we're just going to do the general usage of it. It's not nice weather here at the moment in Dortmund. It's super windy today. So it looks like I won't be going out with the drones today. One, just because it's too horrible, and two, it's just no fun flying the drones in bad weather. You want something nice to look at, like you're seeing right now. This is flying the Neo using the RC2 controller that you get with the DJI Neo when you buy the combo pack. I took this footage back in just the end of October, and yeah, there was this amazing sunset coming, and this was actually the final flight that I did on that one afternoon. I went out with Eileen just to test it out. It was more for Eileen to test it out, actually, to see what she could do with the drone, and I just decided to see what I could do with it in a cinematic style towards the end. And as you can see, it does it quite well. It wasn't very windy. Well, it wasn't windy at all that day, but it achieved the shots perfectly well, and you can see it's nice and stable. The image quality is pretty good, or the video quality should we say. I mean, there's enough light that the sensor is getting tons of light there. Yeah, now just turn around, come back. Remembering obviously that Eileen is stood there with me. We're in an open space. The drone is less than 49 grams. Eileen can see the drone. I can see the drone. I don't have goggles on, so we're in line of sight, or visual line of sight. There's no problems here whatsoever. Don't need a competency test for this. We have insurance anyway, and I do have a competency test. Yeah. And as you can see, Eileen is looking at the drone all the time anyway. And this is then me bringing it back in for me and Eileen to go home. And now Eileen is, you can see the DJI Mini 4 Pro in the background, me flying it around. I haven't included any of the footage in this video. But Eileen was, I hadn't told her how to use it. She literally just picked it up and just used it herself. It's so intuitive anyway, to work out what the different buttons do. And yeah, she picked it up, walked around, tested everything out, and I just followed around with the Mini 4 Pro. I might have said what she could or couldn't do with it maybe, but otherwise she's pretty much just doing her thing and so on, having quite a lot of fun. Yeah, you can see she's, yeah, and the drone, she had a bit of difficulty in the beginning getting the drone to land like this, but you have to kind of just like stretch your arm out. And I had a go with the app. So on the DJI Fly app, I had, or naturally already had it installed. So I just wanted to see what the different spotlight modes, how they would cope with it, and so on. I haven't put this footage really in any specific order. It's pretty much just there. I just thought it would be good for people to see what the other side of the Neo is. You know, I have a whole assortment of DJI drones now, and in all fairness, the Mini 4 Pro is the best one to do this type of stuff in close vicinity to other people, because it's not as big. The Air 3S is amazing, and but it's a little bit, I think other people would see it, would get a bit scared because it's a lot bigger. I mean, when you put the Air 3S in your hand and you put the Mini 4 Pro in your hand, there's two completely different sizes. And then obviously when you have the Neo flying, it's a lot louder, the higher pitched noise. So it tends to attract more attention to you than the Mini 4 Pro does. You can see the people there in the background with their dogs. They came up to us and were interested in the drone. I wanted to just go over a point. Drink some of my coffee. That uninvolved people, you shouldn't fly over uninvolved people. And when there's a person, or when the people move from being uninvolved to involved, or when do they move outside of that uninvolved bubble, they're not necessarily involved, but they don't have the right anymore to call themselves uninvolved. Well, an uninvolved person basically doesn't know that the drone's there, right? Has no idea that it's there, and you're flying it, and they don't know they're being filmed, they don't know they're being watched, or anything like, basically anything to do with, they have no idea about the drone. But if someone sees the drone, hears the drone, and just continues on with their own thing and just ignores it, that's uninvolved, right? Because they know it's there, they hear it's there, but they're just not participating in it, they're ignoring it, which is they're just getting on with their normal life. Now, however, if someone hears the drone and sees the drone and stops and watches the drone, they're actively looking at the drone, right? Now, if they then just continue on again, then they're still uninvolved, because they have decided that they just were curious about what was going on, and then they continued on. That's still uninvolved. But if someone comes over to you and approaches you and isn't curious about the drone, or they're going to moan about the drone, they're going to ask you about any of these things, they now are not uninvolved anymore, because they have removed themselves. They've seen the danger. They've seen the possibility that they could be filmed. They're cautious of this now, which means they're now not uninvolved. And you have to warn these people that the camera is on. You are coming towards the drone, and if you don't want to be recorded, please go away. You know, and if they want to stay, obviously let them stay, but let them be aware that you don't have to tell them that there's a drone flying, because they've actively come there. So this is just something to remember, is if someone stands there and watches you fly the drone, they are not uninvolved anymore. It doesn't make them involved, but they're not uninvolved anymore. And with the DJI Neo, the Mini series, any of the Mini 4K, the Mini 2 SE, the Mini 2, the Mini 4, the Mini 3, the Mini 4 Pro, and so on, any of these Mini series drones, none of them, all of them have basically no restrictions to fly near people, all right, or around people, or over people, because they're designed, they're C0 or C1, they're designed to not make any damage to any person. They're not in any danger. If the drone hits you, which the drones hit me loads of times, it hurts you more financially, because you have to end up fixing a propeller or fixing your jacket because of something like that. But it's just not something to worry about. Yeah, and it's always a good toy to have, to get pictures of you kissing. But yeah, it's just a good little toy to have, and so on. And you pretty much can fly anywhere when you want, as long as you've both, or one person has got at least visual line of sight to the drone, and they're in direct communication. Communication is another key thing. You don't necessarily have to be stood next to each other, as long as the spotter can see that drone and they can communicate with the other person through any forms of communication. It can be telephone, can be radio, just as long as it's pretty much instant. And as we know, telephone communication is the speed of sound, so it's basically instant. Yeah, this is the DJI Neo drone, and yeah, it's a really nice drone, to be honest with you. Obviously, if you haven't seen any of the other videos I've done using acro mode, then go and check them out. As you can see, we're not really using any controllers here. This is me trying to see whether or not the drone would then come and follow me instead, and it was then on Eileen, and I just keep walking around randomly to see whether it will lose sight of Eileen, which it doesn't. And then, is it going to land this time? I haven't watched this footage for a long time, but she noticed that she had to, it's how you put your arm out. We haven't really practiced this again because we didn't buy it for this type of stuff, but we bought it more for an FPV style reason. And if we do take it out, then we've got it for just a quick camera as well to take some footage. But I find the best way is just to place your hand under it and then just grab it. That's obviously from experience now of using it a few times. And I had no experience using it. This was, like I said, the first time we took it out. I had taken it out just in my normal little drone flying area in the beginning just to see what it can do. But other than that, I was just testing it with all of the controller and so on. And then we decided to come to Phoenix Fest here in Dortmund to properly give it a test out. This is like our little testing area where we always bring the drones, because it's away from everyone else. It's away from any residential areas, and it's at least, yeah, it's where people let their dogs run, and if they are allowed to let their 5-10 kilo dogs run, then we should be able to fly a drone that weighs 150 grams safely. So as you can see there, I still haven't read the documentation really about how to get it to land on your arm. I don't really care, to be honest with you. It's me running around trying to get it to follow me. I probably would never use this. Other people like it for vlogging and all sorts of stuff, but I'm just more there for the photography, the videos, and also the nice aerial photographs. As a programmer, you always have a bad neck because you're sat down all the time. So it's a top tip for you. If you're a software developer sitting down, you need to have a physiotherapist to help you with your muscles and your neck and your problems like that. With that said, we're now moving towards the end of the video. Like I said, these clips were just literally just randomly thrown in. I didn't want to go outside today to make another video, so I decided you can just look at this footage instead. If you do like this content, then yeah, why not give it a like? Think about giving it a like. I make lots of different videos on my channel. Sometimes drone flying, sometimes about Borussia Dortmund, living in Germany, programming videos, anything else that I can think of. So if you want to subscribe to see more content like that, then feel free to. Other than that, then just keep looking out for my videos every now and again. They're in no specific order. With that said, thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.